influencers are also in a video from a limo. In that one, they're singing, and one of them is performing a Nazi salute.
They are not welcome in their club. How they got into this club, open arms, I want to know how. And you are not welcome in Miami Beach. People laughing and celebrating, Heil and Adolf Hitler. I cannot believe we're even seeing this and witnessing Miami Beach.
A Miami Beach nightclub catching heat, accused of celebrating hate with a song about Hitler.
Oh, Sticker's a loser. You got banned from the club. You got banned from the club.
This whole situation was supposed to stay low-key, but it just kept getting bigger and messier. Andrew Tate somehow ends up right in the center, and suddenly everyone's acting like it's a major situation. It all kicks off with that nightclub clip in Miami. Loud music, flashing lights, and not just random faces either. You've got Andrew and Tristan Tate, Nick Fuentes, Sneeko, and Myron Gaines all in one spot, playing a Kanye track that already had attention on it. That kind of lineup? You already know clips are getting posted everywhere no matter what happens. And Miami didn't brush it off either. Local news grabbed it fast, and once that happens, everything changes. It's not just a clip anymore. It turns into a full story. 2 employees lose their jobs over the track, and now clubs start closing doors on certain people.
I want to be very careful here because I don't want to deflect too heavily. I don't want to be blaming other people, etc. A whole bunch of songs were played that night, none of which I requested. None. I didn't play it. I didn't ask them to play it. I didn't dance. I didn't sing. I'm not here to make excuses for myself. I'm not here to say it wasn't me.
The whole thing escalated quick, maybe too quick. But once media jumps in, that's usually how it goes. Then Tate tries to step in and control it. He shows up on the PBD podcast, ready to explain, push back, clear his name. You can tell he's trying to stay ahead of it, but instead of fully owning it, he starts shifting things around a bit. Some of that pressure starts pointing towards Sneeko, like he's trying to move heat off himself. But when people already saw the clips, that kind of explanation doesn't hit clean. It just raises more questions instead of shutting things down.
Yes, I think Sneeko may have put the song on, who I'd met many times before. But it was a long night. It was 6 or 7 hours.
6 or 7. You fool.
I'm just going to say I didn't do it. I'm just going to say that I didn't play the song. I don't find the song funny. I didn't think it was appropriate to do.
You got to sacrifice that title, and this will retarded. Guess you're not top G anymore. Stole that shit. You don't know what to do with that shit. Give me that shit.
Then, right in the middle of all that, he drops the Bugatti video. Same track, same vibe, like nothing even happened. That's where everything splits. Some people see confidence, others see him doubling down and ignoring it. Either way, it didn't calm anything. It just made the reactions online go even crazier. You had one side hyping this up like crazy, acting like it was a big win, like Tate proved something major. But then there's a whole other group not buying it at all, saying the reactions feel exaggerated and out of touch with what actually happened. And just like that, the conversation shifts again. Now people are debating if this even matters. Some are saying there are bigger things going on, questioning why anyone is focused on a nightclub clip at all, trying to shut the whole topic down completely. But others push back, saying people can pay attention to multiple things at once, especially online. That back and forth never really settles anything. It just keeps the topic alive and moving. Meanwhile, the rest of the group isn't reacting the same way. Myron Gaines comes in strong and doubles down. No hesitation, no change at all. Then Nick Fuentes follows the same path, holding his stance and not backing off either. That's where things get interesting, because now people start comparing reactions. Who stayed consistent? Who switched up? Who started moving differently once pressure showed up? Then the media angle comes in, and honestly, it felt a bit strange. Even though Tate was the main face of the situation, some headlines started pushing Nick Fuentes first, putting his name ahead of Tate. Maybe that's intentional, maybe not, but it definitely changes how people see the story. Then another argument pops up. People saying Tate was influenced by the people around him. That one doesn't really land. If you watch the clips, everyone looks fully involved, reacting, smiling, clearly part of the moment. Nobody looks forced, so it's hard to say anyone didn't want to be there. And that's where the criticism starts getting more serious, especially with Sneeko. Tate always talks about loyalty, staying solid, not turning on people. That's a big part of his image. But here, it starts to look like blame is getting shifted, and that's what people really focus on.
You know, I'm kind of thinking we should bring the Nazi salute back. Because the people we've been arguing with for the last 4 years have no interest in objective truth. They're only interested in twisting things to slander us.
Not just what happened, but how it lines up with everything he's been saying for years. Once that gap shows up, people don't ignore it. They start stacking examples fast. That's when the bigger pattern talk kicks in, with people bringing up past moments and saying it's the same cycle again and again. Strong talk at the start, then adjustments when things get messy. Maybe that's just how it looks from the outside, but perception runs everything online. And once that narrative starts, it spreads quick. At the same time, another layer keeps coming up, the group itself. Who was there? How different they all are? How it doesn't match the usual image people expect. That part doesn't really land anywhere clear, but it adds more noise, more confusion, and keeps the situation spinning.
The recent incident went viral, truthfully, Jack, with all due respect, because I was there. If my Wrong Collab, Sneak and Nick went to the club and played that song, no one would have gave. Never would have been on the national news, never would have been a big issue. If Collab and Sneeko play that song right now on stream, which they've done 1,000 times, guess what's gonna happen? Nothing. They're nobodies. But Andrew Tate was there.
Wow, he's dissing clavicular too? I wonder if he's gonna, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Then the fallout spreads even more. Sneeko ends up getting banned from multiple clubs too, which shows this isn't just hitting one person, it's reaching everyone connected to that moment. And that's usually how these situations play out. It starts small, but once the right names get attached, it keeps growing whether it needs to or not. From a club perspective, it's definitely bad PR, no question. But at the same time, it almost feels like it's backfiring a bit. Like they're giving him even more attention without meaning to. And sometimes that kind of move doesn't shut things down. It does the opposite. It pulls more people in, builds more curiosity, and once that narrative forms, it can actually boost his image with his supporters instead of hurting it. Now, the way people are framing it is getting wild.
You cannot offend the Jews. It's a song by a black guy, and it's kind of a joke. But again, you put on a song that says, and everybody loses their mind.
You've got takes going around saying growing up is realizing Andrew Tate is basically the same system he claims to fight. Like all that Matrix talk somehow circles back to him. But when you actually break down what he says, it's not anything groundbreaking. It's basic advice. Delay gratification, save money, invest, stay disciplined. Nothing shocking when you really look at it. Then you've got voices like Fresh stepping in, trying to flip the narrative, saying nobody actually threw Sneeko under the bus, and that he put himself in that position because he treats content like it's everything. That take comes off blunt, like there's more to life than chasing views and viral clips. If you're really thinking long-term, the move is to stay low-key, not put everything out there, especially with all this tension around Miami right now. With that mindset, people aren't holding back at all. They're straight up calling him out, saying, Yaldi Cobra Tate, you moving like a snake right now. And it's not subtle either. At this point, it feels like he can't even say Sneeko's name without dodging around it, and people are definitely picking up on that. The deflecting is getting obvious, and every time he speaks, more eyes are catching it. Some are even saying no matter how they feel about others, at least certain figures stay consistent, while Tate seems to shift depending on pressure. And that's making everything look worse than it needed to be. And this is where it gets confusing fast. People are asking how he's acting like he had nothing to do with it when he literally posted himself in the Bugatti blasting the same track, with Sneeko connected on Bluetooth clear as day. You don't even have to search for it. It's right there. So, of course, people are wondering what changed so quickly, because that switch-up didn't go unnoticed at all. Even Clavicula looked caught off guard during that podcast moment, like he didn't expect Tate to redirect things like that. Maybe it's overthinking, but the situation does feel a bit overblown. It's not like he made the song himself. He played it, and from how it looks, he wasn't even controlling the music in the nightclub. Still, that doesn't fully remove him either. If people are upset, sure, some of that could fall on the venue or staff, but what people are really reacting to now is how everything was handled after it went public, because that's where the real shift happened. It started to look like Sneeko was being pushed into the spotlight to take the hit, for something they were all clearly part of. Everyone was there, hearing the same track, and nobody stepped in to stop it. In that moment, there was no hesitation, no sign it crossed a line, nothing that made it seem like a problem at all. But the second it turned into a bigger controversy, everything shifted fast. The tone changed, the energy flipped, and suddenly it felt like distance, like stepping back and letting someone else carry it instead of just owning it. And once people notice that, it sticks. That becomes the focus, not even the original moment anymore, but how everyone reacted once pressure showed up. At this point, the whole situation feels like a mix of ego, pressure, and people trying to control the narrative before it controls them. Everyone involved is moving differently now, switching tone, adjusting how they speak, trying to come out looking clean while the internet watches everything in real time. What really stands out is how fast loyalty seems to change when things get uncomfortable.
They use you, which I know you're upset, you have to be. They use you to play that song to be like, look who's with us. And you're right, I saw you, you walked right out, and even in the nightclub, you were kind of like, whatever.
1 minute it's unity, smiles, shared energy, and the next it turns into distance, quiet blame, and people stepping back without fully saying it. And the audience sees all of it. People are replaying clips, comparing statements, catching every small contradiction. And that's what makes everything feel even more exposed. The more this gets rewatched, the harder it is to explain anything cleanly. What started as a normal night with music somehow turned into headlines, bans, and a full debate about responsibility, influence, and who should really be held accountable. Now the focus isn't even on the song anymore. It's all about how each person handled things once it blew up. That's what people are locked in on. Who stood firm, who started moving different, and who tried to clean it up after the fact. And once people lock into that perception, it's hard to change it. You can explain it 10 different ways, but if the audience already made up their mind, it sticks. You can already see how this might play out long term. It's not looking clean for anyone involved. What felt like a quick moment is turning into something that sticks to their names, especially Andrew Tate. And it doesn't even feel like just one situation anymore. It feels like people are tying it into a bigger pattern. Every clip, every response, every tone shift gets analyzed, and that pressure builds a narrative that's tough to shake once it sets in.
Said to Tristan, anyone who names themselves Sneeko, like you're naming yourself Sneaky. Imagine I was saying, hey, my name's...
At the same time, Sneeko's situation shows the other side, getting banned from places, catching backlash, and still being tied to everything, even though he wasn't the only one there. That just shows how fast things escalate when online moments spill into real life. Then you look at the rest of the group. Everyone's moving differently. Some are doubling down, staying loud, while others are trying to move quieter and let things pass. But at the end of the day, they're all still tied to the same moment. And the internet doesn't forget things like this. Once people pick a side, they usually stick with it, and everything after gets filtered through that view, fair or not. This whole situation really turned into a test of how people handle pressure when everything is public.
He'll always self-sabotage, he'll always f up, he'll always talk about someone that he needed later on, he'll always chase clicks instead of think ahead. He's just too stupid. So he'll always be stuck where he is.
Yeah, you wanted to be in my video, you asked to, and then you said there were no issues, guy.
And not everyone handled it the same way. 1 minute it looks like confidence and control. The next it turns into damage control, shifting explanations and trying to stay on the right side of public opinion. Some stayed solid, some switched up, and some got stuck in the middle. And the internet caught all of it in real time. That's what makes moments like this stick. Not just what happened, but how people reacted when things got uncomfortable. Now it's your turn to weigh in, because people are still split on this. Was this overblown, or did it expose something real about how these guys move under pressure? Drop your thoughts below and get involved in the debate. If you want more breakdowns like this, hit subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next.